Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. Some more scrolls. Using a similar deck to what I had previously, the Gravelog deck. Let's kick it off and let's see how we can do, shall we? I'm always amiss to get rid of the Destroyer, but quite frankly, it seems like the only thing I can get rid of right now, because I would like to keep the rest of them. So, let's open up with the Gravelog Raider. Now, my last absolute drubbing that I received with this deck was problematic, to say the least. I've changed the deck around a little bit. I haven't really changed the concept, but I've flipped around some of the cards. I do want to get a hold of some of the new cards for energy, actually. The Dust Runners look particularly good. They would be very, very good in this deck, but looks like we're not going to have one of those just yet. Okay, so we'll get ourselves a crossbowman up there that I'm going to deal with. I'd like to kill him off pretty quickly if possible. Okay, I want to throw my first Machination Mindset away, I think. There we go. Machination Mindset is extremely nice for this deck, because it means my Gravelog Outcasts gain Relentless and that +1, which is very, very nice to have. I like it anyway. I think it's a good card, but it's also not something that you necessarily need to use all three of. Oh, I hate that card. I really, really do. That's going to be a little bit problematic. I actually don't have the means to kill that off yet, although if I bring the Charge Coil in this turn, that will kill it, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Don't want to keep the Clock Library going. Yes, maybe a Clock Library on turn 4 would be pretty killer. It would be. It really, really would. I want to toss away my first Gravehawk so I can get my Charge Coil out. I'll go for a turn 4 Clock Library, see if I can protect it. I probably can. Pop that down at the bottom there. There we go. So, I can pretty much guarantee that crossbowman will die, which is always nice. Can't really leave those lying around. They have like 4 attack. They take ages to fire, but when they do, if you let them get away with it, they can do significant damage to your idols. Oh, Blessing of Haste, I hate you so much. So, if he's got any sense, he'll move. He doesn't have any sense. That's good. I actually am totally fine with that. Personally, if I was in this position, the first thing I would have done would be immediately to try and do damage to my idols. Because, you know, it's a level 1 creature. I would definitely not use haste to get rid of it, but hey, whatever. There's also, of course, the other possibility that if he knows I'm playing a Gravelog deck, then he knows that it's very much dependent on a situation where I do not end up losing all of my stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start doing damage to the crossbowman. If he doesn't play another creature next turn, then that crossbowman is guaranteed to die before he gets to shoot again. He will kind of have to play a creature, because I've got a Clock Library down now, so it's like, it's going to sit there saying, hey, I'm a Clock Library, and if you leave me alive, then you're going to be in serious trouble. Admittedly, it would have been nice to get something to put it behind. Okay, so he's got his Royal Skirmisher out. So, the Charge Coil may kill that, it may not. We'll see. Ooh, that would be a nice thing to put in front of it, but I really do need that 5 energy. I can't stay behind. I'd like to keep the Catapult out because it's a nice little barrier that I could put in front of the Clock Library, but as it stands, I'll put the Elder there instead and just say, hi, I've got an Elder. You don't have the means to kill it. Come on, Charge Coil. Kill what I want you to kill. Damn it. Alright, well, at least I've got another turn to kill that off, and he can't attack me this turn unless he's got another Blessing of Haste. And regardless, he can't hit this bottom row, which is where all my important stuff is. Alright, it's one of those decks. Yeah, pretty standard order deck by the looks of it, which is very much reliant on stacking up a lot of creatures and have them synergize with each other. Transposition, so he's swapping them around just a little bit. Okay, so he's protecting that. Can't use Eye of the Eagle, annoyingly enough, because I don't actually have any green energy. The irony being I would toss it away for some green energy, but I'd rather burn it for cards right now. Ooh, Thunder Surge. Thunder Surge would be very nice. I could use that. They're going to attack next turn. Is there anything I can do about that? There is. I can use Spark to kill off this guy. There we go. He was going to do 5 damage. He's going to do 4, which kind of sucks anyway, and I didn't want to roll the dice on the Charge Coil, so next turn I will have Thunder Surge. If he keeps spamming creatures, I should be able to play some Clear Out, and he hasn't touched my Clock Library either. Excellent. That's the Zealot out of the way, which means he can't use a Sacrifice. He is going to hit me for 4, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Nothing I can really do about that. We'll make that... yeah, it will be for 4. That's a Royal Infantryman, not a Dakal. So, this is the big beastie in this row, and I'd like to do something about that. Gravelock Outcast would be nice. I don't want to throw away my 1 Thunder Surge, so I'm going to sit on 5 energy right now. I'm about to get a lot of card draw, so that's going to be helpful. Now I'm going to be able to bring my Outcast into play. Now, who's going to be able to attack next turn? It's not going to make that much difference, because as soon as I get... That's going to buff that up to 3-4, because I have the Elder down there. Okay. Once I get some green energy, I'll be able to start healing this up. So that's another damage being done. So gradually being whittled away. Looks like this library is going to play unless he's got something in his hand that can stop it right now. He's focusing right now on this big kind of cluster, which is risky. Especially if he plays another creature, I'll probably Thunder Surge him next turn and just batter away half of those creatures. Should be really, really nice. And we shall see how that works out. But I am taking some damage to my idol, which is not good. If he is able to attack next turn, I'll be in serious trouble. Thankfully, I have a couple of useless contraptions that just came into play. The question, I suppose, is what am I going to do? Alright, so I can't stop him killing that next turn. Yes, I can. If I use Thunder Surge right now... I don't think I should use Thunder Surge right now. I think I should throw down a useless contraption to stop that from dying. Let him get a couple of more creatures out, then throw the Thunder Surge out when it's going to be more effective. So let's do that. First things first, we're going to kill this off. Question is for... Yeah, because I need all 6 for Thunder Surge. So let's get up to that. Secondly, I'm going to play this. Thirdly, I'm going to get another Gravelock Elder out on the field, which is going to give every one of these guys a nice boost. Sweet. So that's going to take everything up to... You know, those are beefy. Those are beefy and scary right now. The possibility is that he moves down here. He can kill off that Outcast. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the Outcast behind the wall so that he can't just pick it off immediately. If he's got any sense, what he'll probably do is move down here and attack this idol. At least it means this one doesn't die this turn, so I'll take that. And I'm starting to build up that critical mass of Gravelocks. And I'm going to have Thunder Surge next turn. If he throws down a couple more creatures, then half his creatures are immediately going to die, which is very nice. I don't think I've got any of those big area of effect spells in my deck aside from Thunder Surge. Pretty sure I got rid of the big incendiary bomb. Oh, Pushback, I hate you so much. It's such a... Well, I mean, it's not a cheap card. It's a 4 card, but it's a really nice card to have. Means that I'm going to have to spend mana to get this Gravelock Elder back into play or use my Thunder Surge next turn. I can't do both. Irritating. Very irritating. But that is the nature of the Order deck. It's reliant on kind of playing for time until it's got these big batches of creatures out. Well, it can't... He's going to try and attack this. Alright, well, he's going to hit the wall. So, wall's gonna eat all of that. Fine. That was actually a very strange decision by him. Moving the Dakal infantrymen out of the way meant that he didn't get that attack boost. I don't think he really thought that one through. Okay, so I can either Thunder Surge this turn, or I can get my Elder back. That's a tough call. Okay. Well, I could put my Catapult of Goo in front to eat some of that damage. That actually might not be a bad idea. What would it hit? Not much. What if I moved it? Aha. Alright. Okay. So what if I move the Outcast back, throw the Catapult down, so it's going to hit some of that. Okay, that leaves me with 3 energy. I don't get the Gravelock Elder back out yet. He doesn't have enough units for me to justify Thunder Surge, in my opinion. Don't want to sack a Gravehawk. I don't know. With 3 Gravelocks available, I really, really don't. This is a tough one. I don't like that situation, but it looks like I might have to live with it. Because I don't want to throw away any of these. Right. Okay. I know she's got no cards in her hand, so I think I can afford to do this. Oh, damn. He's spiky. I forgot about that. Well, charge picks off one of them. That's always nice. I did take 2 damage there, but if I use something to get some green energy next turn, I can heal him up. And unless he throws something crazy at me... He's got 2 cards and 6 energy. What can he play? It's a good question. What you got for me? Kabonk. I hate that. And oh, you're not going to seriously double... God damn it. And that gets card draw as well, which is evil. Focus. That's going to kill the Catapult off immediately. That's really annoying. That sucks. Because my big stack of Gravelocks that I was hoping for is no longer happening. Okay, so I can throw the Memorial down here. There we go. That's going to give me that 1 green energy next turn. Unfortunately, that means I don't get the Thunder Surge, but with only 3 of these guys up, it doesn't really seem like a good idea. I can sack for mana at this point, and I think I'm going to, as weird as it sounds, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to get the Gravehawk out anymore if I've only got 2 Gravelocks on the field. So, what's going to happen? Next turn, this will die. I'm working on this lane right here, so I'm going to throw that down. I've now got large mana reserves, so we'll wait to see what we get next turn. These guys are slowly getting whittled down by the charge coil, which has remained untouched the entire game, which is nice. Can't kill that idol this turn, regardless of what you've got, because that memorial is in the way. Powerbound going down. Nothing you can do about that. It's a nice little ability. As you can see, it means that he's going to be getting a little bit of extra energy once that creature dies, which it will eventually. But with 2 Elders down the bottom, dealing 4 damage each, 6 health and range, that is going to make things interesting. Royal Vanguard comes out. Okay. Now, this is another one of these big, heavy creatures that synergize quite nicely with what he's got, because once that hits 0, there's going to be a massive boost in attack, which is why, of course, you want to prevent that from happening. Okay, as cool as it sounds, I'm going to sack the Ether Pump to get 2 more cards out. Now, he's going to attack next turn. A proximity charge would prevent that. I could Eye of the Eagle, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Use that 1 green energy. That brings me out another Gravehawk. I could Thunder Surge, which will kill almost everything he's got. Alternatively, I could throw down proximity charges. If I do that, then not only is that going to ensure that this does not die next turn, it's also going to kill that, which is pretty nice. Whereas Thunder Surge is going to guarantee a kill of 2 units, I'd prefer to see him get out a couple more before I throw that down. So I'm going to throw down the proximity charge right about here. There we go. So both of these are covered with proximity charges. I'm still working my way through this. This is going to die next turn. I should probably be ready for that. I don't want to move yet, because that means my Elders can get attacked. And it's fine. It doesn't matter. I can always move 1 up there next turn to throw the rest of the damage at that. So he's going to be 1 idle down, which is always good. Sweet. That picked that off as well. That's even better. Even better. So I'm not even going to lose a proximity charge. That's going to be sitting there saying, hey, come at me. And anything that hits it is going to explode, which is wonderful. That's why I like proximity charges. Very, very good. Another Powerbound being thrown down. Heritage. When enchanted unit. And then a Decimation. Oh, nasty. I have actually never seen that ability before. Apparently that's a thing, though. Actually killed the idol off. Alright, well, okay. It was going to die eventually anyway, so I'm going to take one of his idols. What have we got in the meantime? Thunder Surge. Obviously not going to throw that down. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What I'm thinking I should do is to try and get my Gravehawk out. If possible. But yeah, it's about time. It's about time. Okay, so question is, where's he going next turn? If he tries to attack here, that's not going to happen. If he attacks here, that's going to be a problem. What's going to happen is this is going to tick over to 0. He's going to get 5 there. That's still not going to kill my Elder, though. So I'm thinking I move 1 Elder up here, as you might imagine, then play a Gravehawk. I still have what I need for Thunder Surge. I don't want to use it on 1 guy. It just... Even though I take a lot of damage, I don't like the idea. So there we go. Let's do some damage. And anyway, that might die. Yes! Nice! Charge Coil comes through for me in fine style. Excellent. That's what we like. Okay, now he's in a bit of trouble. His second idol is very much threatened. He's got 4 cards in his hand and 8 mana. If he plays a bunch of squishy creatures, I Thunder Surge him next turn, and suddenly he cries for his mummy. Alright. He can't attack this row. He's gonna have to move. He'll probably, if he's got any sense, he'll move to the top and attack this idol. But that does leave all of these guys exposed unless he happens to have something available. So, let's see. The Gravelock deck is starting to gain some momentum, as you can see. These Gravehawks, if you don't know, they gain +1 attack for every Gravelock on the field. These Elders give you +1 attack and +1 health. So both of these creatures synergize extremely well. That's why there's a splash of green in my energy deck. It works pretty well. You generally don't need more than 2. Decimation going down. Nice little maneuver. Again, that's his second Decimation. He may have a third. Always good to know. So I've taken significant damage there, but I now do have... Not only do I have an Eye of the Eagle, which is delicious, And that gets me another Elder. Or I could Thunder Surge. Well, he can't attack next turn. There's no point in Thunder Surging now. Another Elder, on the other hand, there's definitely a point of breaking that out. So, I'm thinking what we do is we pop the Elder here. That'll give me some maneuverability. I know he can't attack next turn, so I can move him out of the way there. He's got no reason to be in this lane because the idol's dead. And that also means I can move up, if need be, to save that. So, that puts me in a good spot. It also means that my Gravehawk can do significant damage. That's dead next turn. Question is how? Let's move into a position where we can start to do some real damage. What I want to try and do is make sure this Gravehawk is in the right position. They're both going to have to attack this because unfortunately I don't have the damage otherwise. So there we go. I have the ability to sort of throw out some damage here. That's good. Okay, that takes him down to 2 HP. That means a Thunder Surge will kill 2 of those. That's always nice. But I do have to do something next turn. Otherwise he'll become a massive powerhouse when that Royal Vanguard ticks over. So let's keep an eye on that. If he ticks over, he'll give +2 attack to everything on that row, which is not good. Pretty much anything around it, in fact, especially if he plays a couple more creatures. So my Thunder Surge has been sitting there all game, being nice and patient, saying, come on, just bring out a bunch of creatures so I can zap every last bloody one of them. Crossbowman down. Good, good, yes, yes. Keep throwing a few more. Transposition to move him up there. Okay. That also draws a scroll, by the way. You might be wondering, why is he using that? Because it's a ridiculously cheap card draw. The Order deck has an awful lot of that. Okay, that's a nice little bunch of stuff which is going to die to Thunder Surge next turn. Bless... Oh, Christ! No! Oh, that is bollocks. Okay, so that buffed up everything there. What's going to attack? Just him. Alright. So I'm actually now in a bit of trouble, to say the least. This is going to get pretty close. Alright, okay. So first things first, let's toss out Rigged. We don't need that. Machination Mindset is available. Doesn't work on any of these guys, unfortunately, as much as I wish that it did. Okay, I've got Thunder Surge. That means I'm going to kill 1, 2... I'm going to kill 3 of these creatures. He doesn't have the capability to kill me there. So let's blast him. Thunder Surge gets rid of all of those. Very, very nice. This dies. This takes a ton of damage. I wish I had one more Gravelock, because then things would get very interesting, but I don't. So we're just going to have to deal with that. He doesn't seem too happy. Good. So this dies, this is about to die, and then I can put all my pressure on this, and he'll be forced to defend it. He doesn't have anything ready to attack yet. Admit it, he can't win with these units alone. He's going to have to play something else. Currently, he only has 1 card. Let's see what he pulls. Maybe, wait, I imagine he either gets something that's card draw, he sacks it to get some more cards. We'll see. He's in a really tough spot, though. I now have enough damage capability to absolutely smash him. No. No, I can't. I make it up on the fly. Don't worry. My strategy is to sit there just waiting. Either that or he's about to flame me. I'm not really sure. Okay. Well, let's see. I don't want either of these guys to tick over. As you can see, because he's going to get scroll draw from that. So he just sacked it to get 2 more scrolls. Let's see what he can play. He's going to get a +2 attack, which would not allow him to kill me unless he happened to have another creature and maybe a Blessing of Haste. So that's good to know. But, I mean, he's kind of going to be forced to move now. He's got to do something about this. Honorable General placed in there. Okay. Alright, so he's got a bunch more units out. Ether Pump Clock Library. You might think, well, those are not useful. They kind of are. They kind of are. And the reason they're useful, of course, is because you can throw stuff in the way. Okay, Burn. Nice. Burn is always a wonderful thing to have, especially in this situation. So I can also throw down the Hellspitter Mortar as a wall. Doesn't hit jack. It's completely random. But what I can do is I can burn one of these. The question is, who do I want to burn? I would want to burn him because he's going to give that attack boost. So let's take him out. There we go. Ooh, Desperation. Very cool. Ooh, that's actually a really nice card to have. I could actually use that just to eliminate his general there. But the Hellspitter Mortar in place, I think, would make more sense. Let's place that down. That's going to be a wall to protect that idol. He has no creatures down the bottom, so the Hellspitter Mortar is going to sit there, protect that idol, make sure it does no damage. And that, as they say, is that. And we might even get lucky. We might kill the Honorable General this turn. Alternatively, I could just move up there and immediately strike this idol instead and just kind of let him sit there. That takes it down to 5. That means that next turn, unless he directly blocks this, he is going to lose. As I have this guy ready. I actually have made Not really a mistake, actually. This is actually a pretty good play. I can move both of these guys up next turn. These three are ready to attack next turn. So unless he blocks this line... There's some moves up there. I think he's... I'm pretty sure he's complimenting me. I'm pretty sure he's not flaming me now. So anyway, if I move this Elder up next turn, unless he moves something in the way to block that idol, he loses. However, his Honorable General is going to die next turn, almost guaranteed. Oh, he doesn't seem all that happy. And I still have Clock Library, Ether Pump. Not that these cards will help me actually kill him, but... Desperation will. So let's see. He can't strike this idol, because the Hellspit of Mortar is nicely in the way. As much as it looks dangerous, it's really not. It misses all the time. Okay, Blessing of Haste used... Did he just use a Blessing of Haste on my own character? I'm not really sure what that was. Did he use a Blessing... Okay. Alright. This was a rather strange end to the game. Not that it really makes much of a difference, but that, as they say, is that. GG. Yeah, that's going to be GG. In fact, let's take down 2 idols. That'll get me a little bit extra gold as well. Why not? There we go. It's okay. Relax. Good lord, people get so stressed about nothing. Alright. Yeah, okay. Let's take these 2 idols. 1 and 2. There we go. GG, well played, as they say. That was fun. That deck works. I did a little bit of tweaking to it, and turns out that helps. Proximity Mines sort of saved my ass, but I like that. I'll show you what the deck's like, actually, before I go. Because I did make a few changes to it since last time. So if I load up Gravelocked, which is this one. So this is what it looks like. I do actually have those 3 Inferno Blasts. I've only got 1... Thunder, whatever it is. Thunder Surge. I want 3 of those. Especially against decks like that or against growth decks. Having that board clearing and having that mass damage is really important. I don't have a lot of artillery in it. I've got 1 Destroyer in it because, I mean, it's a great card, but I've only got 1 of them. Couple of Ether Pumps, because I like these. If you can start to wall up and you can actually hide these at the back, they can really start to whittle down your opponent's army. The Charge Coil, as you noticed, that game was absolutely fantastic. I love this card. I used to think that it wasn't very good, but the fact that you can get this out on turn 3 is really important, because it usually means they've only got maybe 1 creature out by that point, so you start zapping that, and then it dies, and it's a bit RNG, but it can be great. These 3 Eye of the Eagles came in very handy because they allowed me to draw my creature cards a lot quicker. As you can see, I've only got 2 cards in this deck that actually use green energy. Gravehawks, which synergize with all of my Gravelock cards, and then Eye of the Eagle as well. This is definitely not a perfect deck yet, but it's getting there. Put a couple of more Clock Libraries in there. That actually proved to be super effective. Getting 1 out that early gives you so many more options. They can also be used as walls. I mean, they've got 5 health, so you can save something with it. Burn, very, very useful because it gives you that card draw and direct damage. Not a huge amount of damage for 4 energy, but at the end of the day, it gives you the card draw, and this deck doesn't really have a lot of that. All of the Gravelocks, useless contraptions because they're like the best card in the game, and I can't imagine why anyone would believe otherwise. They are so damn good. Incredibly cheap walls, and you can then, of course, combine them with Rigged to do extra damage and take out important creatures. Spark proved to be extremely useful, and some Tribal Memorials. These are extremely cheap, both walls and growth generators. So if you get a couple of these out early, you don't even have to sack cards in order to actually get growth energy. So you can really start to get ahead in that respect, which is very, very nice. Get one of these out early, that means you can use an early Eye of the Eagle while not using energy or sacrificing cards that you otherwise would have. Always good. Catapults of Goo. You generally use them for walling off more so than anything else. Usually they don't get to fire, but they're cheap and they tend to take a decent few hits, and of course you can rig them as well. And then the proximity charges, perhaps the saviors of the game. And that lone Hellspit of Mortar that I just flat out refuse to remove from my deck. Mostly because it's a 3-cost 6 health thing that can occasionally kill stuff, so I don't really see why not. And I don't know about Machination Mindset. I'm thinking of getting rid of it because there's actually only 1 card in my entire deck that can use it, and that's the Gravelock Outcasts. That's what I use it on, because you can't use it on something that's already relentless, which is really annoying, Because Raider's relentless, Gravehawk's relentless, and he can't use it unranged either. So I'm thinking maybe I get rid of this from the deck and try and find a better buff. Maybe I get like 3 copies of Blast Strike. I currently only have 1 of those. It's an amazing card. But yeah. So that's my deck, and that seemed to work out pretty well. My name has been TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.